Welcome to Smashville. This is PK Subban.
I'm Dan Hamhuis.
This is Craig Smith.
This is Mike Fisher.
But you need to dig in right now, every guy.
Everybody loves their soldiers until they come home and stop fighting.
Enough is enough.
They need me to bleed, and I'll bleed for my team.
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
This is Ryan Johansson. Welcome to Smashville.
This is Philip Forsberg.
I'm Victor Arvidsson.
I'm Ryan Ellis.
I'm Matthias Ekholm.
I'm Beckerin, and you're listening to the Renegades of Puck with Crazy Charlie.
Crazy Charlie puts words in my mouth. You can't trust that guy.
If you can't get some fire, some passion, some energy, and figure out how in the hell to talk about this magnificent sport of hockey that has taken over the city of Nashville, then why are you on the radio? You don't deserve it, and you should do the honorable thing and turn your mic in. You're making a damn fool of yourself.
This is my declaration. I'm coming after every single one of you. The lazy, the tired, the boring voices out there. Your time is up. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier.
I'm Pete Weber of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck with
Crazy Charlie.
Find a way, boys. No more half-stepping.
Now, here's your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in Hockey covered, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, well, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. I'm going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt and all the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, something like 80 different items in our online store. The best way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent, unaffiliated operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Please, you can find us on Instagram. You can also find us on Threads, Facebook, and X. Whatever it is you prefer as far as social media platforms, you can probably find us there. It doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't take you but a second, but it sure goes a long way to helping us out. Please, YouTube as well. You can help us out right there. Subscribe to our channel. We sure to appreciate all of our recent subscribers. Stick taps, love, and respect to each of you, and we could use some more in our ranks over there. So if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel and then turn on those notification buttons and get the latest content from the Renegades of Puck. You can also find the virtual tip jar over here on the corner of the desk. Scan the QR code at any time during the episode if you'd like to leave a tip or if you'd like to pay off our virtual square bill. And you can help us out by making a financial donation. Every single dollar goes directly to the Renegades Puck, and it goes to helping us build our brand new set that we are working on and hope to have completed sometime late in this spring. So please, if you can spare it, we sure could use it. Now listen, I know it's time for No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It is time for episode number 952. That is right. It is time for show number 952. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division after 41 games skated. That's right. We are at the middle point of the season. The Predators have a record of 13, 21, and 7. 33 points has them drastically far out of any playoff position at this time. On home ice, though, the Predators do have a winning record of 8-7-3, and that's where their next handful of games will take place. The Predators have now scored 100 goals on the season. They've given up 128. That's a goal differential of -28. The week ahead for the Nashville Predators, a break between the road trip and this game that we are previewing right here against the Washington Capitals, and then Tuesday back on the ice again versus the Vegas Golden Knights. The 16th versus the Chicago Blackhawks, the 18th of January versus the Minnesota Wild, and the 21st of January versus the San Jose Sharks. So the Predators, a 5-game homestand about to get underway, and then the 23rd will be the next time they are on the road, and that is in San Jose. So a back-to-back home-and-home series against the San Jose Sharks comes ahead for the Predators on the schedule. Now, for the Predators and the Washington Capitals, they've already played one time this season. So this is the second of 2 regular season meetings. It was back on November the 6th when the teams met in Washington. The Caps won that game 3-2. Saros took the loss, 33 out of 36 in net for Nashville. Thompson picked up the victory, 33 out of 35. Stamkos and Parsonen picked up the goals in that game. Ovechkin, Protos, and McMichael also picked up goals for the Washington Capitals. Now, Mentioning the Caps, overall, they are having a very good season. If you haven't been following on the Eastern Conference, let me give you a quick update. 26-10-4 is their overall record. 56 points is first in the Metropolitan Division. Half of their 26 wins, that's right, 13 wins have come on the road, a total record of 13-6-1 away from DC. 148 goals on the season, 108 goals against. That's a goal differential of plus 40. Now, because the Predators are on a bit of a break to end this week before picking up their schedule against the Caps, little bit of a gap right here for the games played. So let's go back and talk about the last 5 completed for Washington. Then I'll update you and you'll see what I mean. The 29th of December saw a 4-2 loss at the Detroit Red Wings. The 31st of December saw a 3-1 win versus the Boston Bruins. On the 2nd of January, a 4-3 shootout loss versus Minnesota. On the 4th of January, a 7-4 win versus the New York Rangers. On the 6th of January, a 4-3 shootout win at Buffalo. The Caps will face off against the Vancouver Canucks at home on Wednesday night. Then we'll host the Montreal Canadiens on Friday night before traveling to Nashville to face off against the Predators on Saturday. So the Predators will be catching the Capitals on the second night of back-to-backs, and Washington will have to travel while the Predators will have had a multi-day rest at home after completing a long road trip. That will make some of these numbers a little bit in flux, but still, you will understand the overall trends at the middle point of the season. They're not going to change that much with 2 games to go. So let's talk about the NHL rankings and the numbers between these two teams going into this matchup. 3.70 goals per game. Well, you know that's not the Predators. That is the Washington Capitals. That's first overall in the NHL, while the Predators are the opposite end of the spectrum at 2.44. So there it is. There's your floor and your ceiling in the NHL. 2.44 for the Predators is the worst, and 3.70 for Washington is the best. Goals against the Predators are giving up 3.12 per game. That's 18th in the league. The Caps are giving up 2.65 per game. That's 5th best overall in the NHL. And the shots on goal category, 29.1 for Nashville's 12th, 28.2 for Washington. He's 19th. Shots against, the Predators are giving up 29.7 per game. That's 27th overall. 27.6 for the Washington Capitals is 11th overall. When it comes to special teams, the power play, of course, for Washington, you would expect with Alex Ovechkin on the team and others to be ahead of the Nashville Predators, and it is. 23.9% conversion rate is 9th best in the NHL. 28 conversions, 117 opportunities. The Predators power play is 19.5%. That's 20th overall in the league. 23 conversions on 118 opportunities. This one right here, I found this to be interesting. Yes, the Predators penalty kill has been vastly ahead of most of their opponents because they've been near the top, if not the top of the league for most of the season. The Predators currently sit at 84% kill rate. That's 3rd best in the NHL. They've given up 20 power play goals against. But the Washington Capitals just behind them, 83.7% kill rate, is 4th best in the NHL, 20 power play goals against. Again, these statistics will be in flux as there are still 2 games to be played by the Washington Capitals before traveling to Nashville to face off against the Preds. Currently, Strome leads the Caps in scoring, and I anticipate he will 2 games from now as well. 12 goals, 33 assists, 45 total points. Protas, 18 and 17 for 35. Wilson, 18 goals and 14 assists for 32 points. McMichael's got 17 goals and 14 assists for 31 points. Dubois at 5 and 26 for 31. Ovechkin has 19 goals, and he is inching ever closer to the all-time goals record at 11 assists for 30 points, and typically plays quite well against the Nashville Predators, usually getting his. For the Nashville Predators on the statistical side of things, Philip Forsberg leads the way, 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 total points. Jonathan Marchessault, the total hockey experience, 14 goals and 16 assists for 30 points. Yossi's at 8 and 19 for 27. Stamkos is at 12 and 13 for 25. O'Reilly's also at 12 and 13 for 25. Now, this is one thing for the Nashville Predators. It could change because of a couple of days off, but currently, Luzon is on IR. Cole Smith is also on IR. Willsby, Stamkos, Evangelista, all question mark right now for their availability for this game that we're currently previewing against the Washington Capitals. And moving forward, we will hope to have an injury update very, very soon on all of these players. That's going to do it for the preview. You're all set for the Predators hosting the Washington Capitals. We haven't seen the Predators on home ice in the calendar year of 2025 yet, so very much looking forward to getting out to the rink, seeing the home crowd again for what seems like the first time in forever, and hopefully the Predators can pick up where they left off on their last homestand, which was fairly dominant. It's the only stretch of hockey this season the Predators have been fairly dominant at, so you probably remember it quite well and have some fond memories of it. hopefully the Predators can pick that right back up here. They do have a winning record on home ice, 8-7-3 going into this game. So 8 of their 13 victories on the season coming at Bridgestone Arena. That's going to do it for the preview portion. Let's go back and see what happened in their last game in Winnipeg. It was a long road trip, tired legs, injuries involved. It's Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming up next.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to January 7th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Preds were facing off against the Winnipeg Jets to wrap up a 6-game road trip. Head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way. Forsberg, Stamkos, and Marchessault, Nyquist, O'Reilly, Heinestroza, Novak, Svechnikov, and Evangelista, Jankowski, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Barron, Shea and Blankenberg, Stastny and Shen. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 17 seconds into the first period, and it's Connor Hellebuck coming up with the first action of the game. It's a save on Brady Shea. It's the first shot on goal of the game. 147 of the first period. It's Hellebuck coming with a save on O'Reilly. 244 mark. It's Saros coming with a save on DeMello. A strong first save by the Nashville Predators netminder. 5:06 of the first period now. Saros comes up with a save on Coughlin at 5:32 of the first period. Hellebuck a save on Nyquist at 6:30 of the first period. We have our first scoring breakthrough, and it's Barron. Not the one on the Predators, though, the one on the Winnipeg Jets. His 4th goal of the season comes after numerous jam attempts. The puck finds its way into the net. Off of a Nashville Predator, that is. Winnipeg leads 1-0, but immediately after that, just 16 seconds, 6:46 into the first period, it's Morrissey with his 5th goal of the season. A long shot through traffic eludes UC Saros, giving the Winnipeg Jets a very quick 2-0 lead. 9:26 now of the first period. Saros coming out with a save on Niederreiter. It almost trickled through, which was troublesome. 11:24 of the first. O'Reilly hits the crossbar. 11:59 of the first period. It's Coughlin off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. Phil Forsberg would hit the post, and that would be the best scoring opportunity for the Nashville Predators on the first special team scenario of the game. 14:39 of the first, it's Hellebuck coming with a save on Blankenberg. At the 18:36 mark of the first period, it's Connor with his 23rd, and it was all too easy for a goal scorer of his caliber to give the Winnipeg Jets a 3-0 lead here in the first period. We hit the end of the period, the Jets out shooting the Preds 11-10. We hit the start of the second period. The Predators start out by going on the defensive. 1:27 into the second period, it's Saros coming with a save on Lowry. 2:19 into the second, Saros coming with a save on Heinola. At 6 minutes into the second period, it's Saros coming with a save on Barron. At 6:54 of the second period, it's Hellebuck finally having to go back to work, coming with a save on Shea. We hit the midway point of this game. We find ourselves at the 10:41 mark of the second period, and UC Saros is coming with a save on Nino Niederreiter. At 10:52 of the second period, it's Pionk off the box. 2 minutes for holding against Colton Sissons. Hellebuck comes up with a save on O'Reilly. Then Hellebuck comes up with another save on Marchessault. We return to 5-on-5 hockey, and we find ourselves at the 15:13 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming up with another save on Coughlin. At 16:18 of the second, it's Pionk back to the box. This time, 2 minutes, puck over the glass. Phil Forsberg, who hasn't been on the score sheet for a goal in some significant amount of time, puts his 10th goal of the season in getting the Nashville Predators on the board finally in this game. Winnipeg, though, still maintains a 3-1 lead after the Preds power play goal. 18:21 of the second period. Saros comes up with a save on Ehlers. We hit the end of the second period, and it is the Winnipeg Jets with 21 shots on goal in total for the game. The Predators with 16. So the Preds only able to generate 6 shots on goal in the second period, but they did put one of those into the net. 59 seconds into the third period. Now it's UC Saros coming with a save on Ehlers at the 2:13 mark. It's Hellebuck coming with a save on Tommy Novak. 2:43 of the third period. It's Heinestroza off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping, but Kupari is also off to the box. He's picking up a double minor for high sticking. Hellebuck would come up with a save on Yossi, and that would be it for the special teams scenario. At the 7:42 mark of the third period, it's Barron off the box. 2 minutes for holding. This time it is the Nashville Predators one. and it's Velarde scoring his 19th of the season to put the Winnipeg Jets ahead 4-1 here in the third period. We flip over to the backside of the sheet at age 25 of the third period. We find the captain, Roman Josi, putting a puck into the net to give the Nashville Predators their second goal of the game. Winnipeg, though, still leading by a score of 4-2. We hit the midway point of the third period at 10:29. We find Hellebuck coming with a save on Marchessault. At this time, Marchessault, while jamming for the rebound, gets high sticked by Stanley in a particularly vicious way. It earns a 4-minute high sticking double minor. In the process of this power play for the Predators, Hellebuck would have to come up with a save on Marchessault. Then another big save on the captain, Roman Josi, and then Connor would pick up a penalty. 2 minutes for hooking on Forsberg. This would put the Nashville Predators on a 5-on-3 power play. And while the Predators would get some very good looks at it, Hellebuck comes up with a save on Marchessault, then Josi, then Forsberg. They would not be able to cash in. This was the opportunity for the Preds to get back in this one. Back to even strength hockey at 14:40 in the third. We find UC Zaros coming with a save on Iafallo at 17:23 of the third period. Hellebuck comes up with a save on O'Reilly. Rebound to the outside during the scramble. Again, this was the Predators with another great opportunity to put one in the net and at least make it interesting down the stretch. With the empty net scenario, Nino Niederreiter puts his 11th goal of the season in. It trickles all the way down into the net to give the Winnipeg Jets a 5-2 lead, and that would be your final right there. So Winnipeg defeats Nashville twice on this 6-game road trip in Winnipeg. Both times the Winnipeg Jets got to host, and the Jets do outshoot the Preds 30-28 in this game. So the Nashville Predators might have come out looking like they were going to be competitive in this thing, but the Winnipeg Jets' superior goaltending, superior offense took over this game, and they did that pretty quickly and never really looked back. 5-2 is not really an indicator of how close this game was. It was closer than that, but the Predators are just simply unable to overcome the insurmountable metrics that the Winnipeg Jets have put up so far this season. There's a reason they're in first place. There's a reason they're one of the best in the NHL and have some of the best statistical metrics of any team. So the Predators on the last game of a road trip just did not quite have it in them to come away with the split 3-3, but they do go 2-4 on the road trip. They do pick up 4 out of a possible 12 points on the road trip, and they started this road trip with only 3 wins on the road for the entire season. They add 2 more to that, so in some really sad ways, it was a successful road trip. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap from a freezing cold. I believe it's 35 degrees out here in the bunker. We've been below freezing for a couple of days here in the Middle Tennessee area, so it's really starting to settle in out here in the bunker. So we'll get to the recap, we'll get to the box score, we'll get to more coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in from a freezing cold bunker across a freezing cold region. I don't think it matters where you're watching this podcast from. It's probably been freezing where you are for the last couple of days. We haven't gone above the freezing mark itself here in Middle Tennessee in, I think, 3 days now. I expected to stay below that, including a massive snowstorm in the next couple of days. So we will be here in the bunker bringing you the maximum amount of hockey coverage possible. Thankfully, because of our infrastructure setup, we have everything we need right here, and we can continue to deliver you content as long as we can continue having power here at the bunker. So let's go ahead and do some very quick analysis from a very, very cold studio. and get you guys moving on with the day. UC Saros got the start in this one, won 26 out of 29. You know what? He was not bad, but he lacked support in front of him. Too many hacks, whacks, jams. His own players putting the puck in the net. It was just a little bit much. You could tell on the broadcast Chris Mason was getting a little irritated with the number of stuff attempts that the Winnipeg Jets were getting right here. It was just people weren't paying the price. They weren't getting cleared out. They weren't being forced to earn it. They were just being allowed to kind of stand off the side and hack and whack and jam away until UC Saros was finally defeated. But I didn't think Saros was bad in this game. I just thought the Preds' support system in front of him could have been better. The captain, Roman Josi, finally back on the score sheet. We're going to say that 2 times in a row right here. Josi back on the score sheet. Goal, assist, 2 points. 5 shots on goal, 28-51 in total time on ice. The captain trying to will his team to it, but unable to get it done. And a big reason for that was the power play outage for the Nashville Predators. Just brutal in that regard. Philip Forsberg finally back scoring a goal. It has been so long since Philip Forsberg has scored a goal. I was wondering how he was going to handle February as a world-class distribution service, but now getting the puck back in the net, 4 shots on goal. He hit the post another time. 22:08 total time on ice. Hopefully this is the beginning. Phil Forsberg is notorious for scoring in batches. Once he gets going, this is one of the weirdest stretches we've ever seen him go through, so we don't know if this is the beginning of him coming out of it. We also don't know if his center, Steven Stamkos, is going to be back in the lineup and available. That would put more pressure on Forsberg to score and to shoot, and maybe he will come a little more out of his shell on this one. Let's talk about Heinestroza picking up an assist for the Nashville Predators. It was his first with the Nashville Predators, first point, so that is absolutely outstanding. He's been put up to the second line, a better utilization for his skill set, but that second line of Nyquist and Heinestroza have not been really adding to the production that O'Reilly has been putting up as of late. That is for sure. But Heinestroza, congratulations right there. He gets his first point as a Nashville Predator. Jonathan Marchessault, 1 assist in this one, 5 shots on goal. Also took a nasty, vicious high stick in this game, earning a double minor and a 4-minute power play for his team. The total hockey experience, Jonathan Marchessault just continues to impress shift after shift, night in and night out. And that's really all I wanted to say about him. He's just the total hockey experience, and I love the way he goes about the game. I love the way he approaches it. And when he gets a little bit of blood, it's almost that Bruce Lee moment. It almost seems to get him even a little bit more riled up. Love it. Injuries took a toll on this game. It's really hard to beat the Winnipeg Jets, especially in Winnipeg. The Predators failed to do that recently and failed to do that again. But then when you add Evangelista Stamkos being injured and barely playing, Evangelista only 4:02 in this game. Stamkos only 9:30. Stamkos is usually 20 minutes plus. Evangelista is usually in the teens at the very least. And losing 2 offensive threats, losing 2 of your forwards in this game against a team that is just far superior in every way to you is making it an even more insurmountable hill to climb, and that's one of the reasons the Predators fell. Mostly this was about the Winnipeg Jets just being a better hockey team and imposing their will and pushing the Predators around, and the Preds failing even when they had their opportunities to do anything about it. And that's the kind of thing you see when you look at the time on ice, when you look at the box score, when you look at those things. So all right, let's take a quick break. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. Let's come back, buzz through the numbers, and then close this episode out. Episode number 952 right here of the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
All right, welcome back in. When I say the good, cold, hard numbers, they sure as hell are cold. Forsberg got back on the score sheet with a goal in this game. Roman Josi also with a goal. Your assists go to Heinestroza, Marchessault, also Nyquist, and Josi putting up assists in this game. Shots on goal leaders for this game, Jonathan Marchessault had 5, also equaled by the captain, Roman Josi. 4 for Ryan O'Reilly, 4 also for Philip Forsberg. When it comes to blocked shots, 2 was the highest for the Nashville Predators. That was by Jonathan Marchessault and also by Colton Sissons. When it comes to hits, the physical component of things, 4 led the way, and that was Colton Sissons, 3 by Schenn, 3 by Shea. Your time on ice leaders and your forwards definitely saw a heavy effect due to Evangelista and Stamkos both going out of the game injured. So your time on ice leader at the forward position, Jonathan Marchessault, 23.35. That is one of the biggest numbers we've seen all season long by a Nashville Predators forward. 22.08 for Phil Forsberg and 21.39 for O'Reilly. Again, unfortunately for the Predators, ice time lows due to injury. Steven Stamkos at 9.5 minutes and Luke Evangelista at 4.02. Predators power play failed to get things done in this one. Phil Forsberg at 8.35, Jonathan Marchessault at 8.45, Ryan O'Reilly at 8.36 in total time on ice. Roman Josi at 8.41. The Predators also had a lengthy 5-on-3, unable to cash in on that one, and that's one of the reasons they were unable to close the gap in the third period and get themselves back in it. Only 9 seconds of penalty kill time leads the way because, well, unfortunately, the Winnipeg Jets were ready as hell to go on a power play, set play, put the puck in the net in 9 seconds. O'Reilly, Sissons, and Josi and Shea, each 9 seconds of penalty kill time on ice, unsuccessful as the penalty kill gives up a goal right there. Your goaltender in this game was UC Saros. He went 26 out of 29. He gave up 3 goals against, 8.97 save percentage, 24 even strength saves, 2 shorthanded saves in this game, and he takes the loss against the Winnipeg Jets. All right, listen, that's going to do it for the box score, the good, cold, hard numbers. We've gone through the preview. We've gone through the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've given you some analysis. We've given you some numbers and some stats, and now it's time to lock things up right here. 2 wins on the road trip. You know what? I wanted the split. I wanted the 50-50. I wanted 3 wins, but that was asking a lot, and I knew that was asking a lot. That was people that were asking for more than 3 wins were unrealistic. When the team had only 3 wins the regular season, they've been no higher than 7th place in the division all season long. Well, asking for more than a 50-50 split on this 6-game road trip was asking for too much. I was asking for 3, and damn it, the Predators were almost there to do it, but a couple of injuries, and you know what? That Winnipeg Jets team is the second time we've seen them in a week, and they are impressive. What's left to be seen for the Winnipeg Jets is simply this. Can they finish? There's no doubt they are probably going to win the division. They're going to be one of the top seeds in the Western Conference. Can they finish this time? They've had opportunities before. They've not been able to do so, but this isn't a Winnipeg Jets podcast. This is a Nashville Predators podcast. For the Nashville Predators, they're a 7th-place team that got 2 road wins on a 6-game trip after only having 3 road wins for the previous entirety of the season. Now, come back home. You had a dominant homestand before that road trip, and now come back home and rekindle that dominance at Bridgestone Arena. And, I mean, listen, you're halfway through the season, and most people have thrown in the towel, and most people have already raised the white flag. I'm going to continue. I'm just going to continue, you know? I don't believe in just giving up and quitting. I'm going to cover the next 41 games of the regular season no matter what happens. So for the Nashville Predators, they've got an opportunity. They've got a 5-game homestand, and when you look at that homestand, you see Chicago, you see Minnesota, you see San Jose on there. This is an opportunity for this Nashville Predators team. They've got to do something against the Washington Caps, and also against Vegas or Minnesota. But Chicago, San Jose, these are very, very winnable games. They're some of the bottom teams in the NHL, just like the Nashville Predators. Should be some competitive hockey. But the Preds have a chance if they can open up some more home ice dominance over this 5-game homestand. Well, you know what? They've got a chance to start climbing out of the bottom of and the dregs of the basement of the cellar of the NHL. Let's do it for episode number 952. I'm freezing cold and I'm getting tired, and I think it's starting to get rambly. So let's go ahead and lock this one out right here. Let's say I appreciate your viewership, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.